the mental break yesterday, and when you find those little pockets where you can kind of get away from everything, what does that do for you guys in the playoff series?
Oh man, what a beautiful day yesterday. So everybody had the day off. Coaches came in and watched the tape and talked about our strategic adjustments, but everybody had time to get outside and go enjoy the weather and get a little break. So it's an important aspect of the playoffs. Occasional day off and fill up your cup and get refocused the following day.
Next game being the hardest one of the series with the Clippers.
Yeah, I mean, I think closeout games are always difficult. I think both teams at this point have a really good feel for one another, strategically what each one is trying to do. I think the Clippers are going to come out flying around. They got nothing to lose. They're going to come out flying around. I thought they were really good defensively last game. They put a lot of pressure on us. And they'll come out with a freedom shooting the ball and an aggression that we got to be ready for. He's fine. Yeah, he had an MRI and it was clear, and he practiced fully today, so he's fine.
Steve, what have you guys done better against Williams and Harold since Game 2? It seems like you've been much more effective on defense.
Yeah, we've done a better job. I think you have to realize when you guard those two guys, it's a five-man effort. I think the first two games, it was more of a two-man effort. The other three guys not involved in the play weren't nearly attentive enough. And so I think we've just done a better job the last couple games of our help side and trying to make the lane look crowded and trying to offer help but still get back out to shooters. And we've been better with that. We haven't left those two guys involved who are guarding the pick and roll. We haven't left them to fend for themselves.
It's the necessary question. Do with it what you want. Do you have anything to say on the loop?
I do not.
Okay.
Talk about the importance of getting rest in between the games. Like, talk about that and the importance of closing out the series to get a little more rest between the series.
Yeah, I think that's a big deal. Any chance you get during the playoffs for some rest, you've got to try to get that because it's a long haul. If you go to the finals, it's almost 2 months, and I think the more we can have time in between for preparation and rest, the better that serves us going forward. And there's an accumulation too. The physical one, there's also an accumulation of technical fouls and flagrant fouls, and so the more we can limit the number of games we have to play, the better it serves us.
Steve, you're a beach guy. Do you ever do the Pacific Ocean reset?
All the time. Yes, all summer long, in fact. Yeah.
Seriously, do you find that?
Oh yeah. I think the ocean is probably the best way to clear your mind. And being a Southern California kid, and growing up on the beach and spending a lot of time in the ocean, it's that made perfect sense. I know people joked about it and laughed about it because it's clay, but it made perfect sense to me.
What was your beach?
Which one?
What was your beach?
Santa Monica Beach.
Is there any plan with the market right now? I mean, as far as like really get around?
He's just rehabbing. Yeah, he's here today. He was in our film session, and he will continue to be rehabbing with Rick and be around us as we go.
How are his spirits?
Not great, as you'd expect, but it was good to see him. And obviously we've been gone the last week or so, 6 days, and so it was good for everybody to see him and vice versa. And, we'll see what happens, in a few weeks once we have a better sense of his healing and his ability to maybe get on the court. Who knows? But at this point, conservatively, I would say it's highly unlikely he'd play.
Has there been any early indication is it getting better? I mean, I know it's
Oh, no, nothing like that. Yeah.
Steve, how do you view the way Steph's playing in this series? He obviously had a couple big scoring games here, and then struggled in the last game, but in foul trouble a bit. Maybe defending him kind of differently, right, at the top. I mean, how do you sort of look at his series so far?
I think it's, when we play in these series, I pretty much just look at the last game. I don't really think about this, the cumulative. So Steph is Steph. I mean, he's going to make a dramatic impact whether he's making shots or not because of how much attention he draws defensively. He had a tough game last game shooting the ball, and he got into foul trouble. From what I remember, the first 3 games he shot it really well. But I don't get too caught up in all that stuff. The biggest thing for Steph is to not reach. He did a great job in the second half of defending without fouling and not just avoiding fouls, but really defending and staying in front of his man with his hands held high. And that's how he has to go about his business on the court so that we can have him out there.
When it comes to those reaches, you said it could be a product of one of his best characteristics, that he's not out there overthinking.
Right.
How much do you see him wrestling with that, wanting to just be a spontaneous player?
I think so.
That's like a kryptonite for him.
Yeah, I think sometimes he just gets in the habit of trying to strip the ball, and so really more than anything, it's just about trying to get him past that habit. I keep telling him how valuable he is. I'd much rather he just got out of the guy's way and gave him a layup and kept playing, because he's much more valuable than 2 points. And we've got plenty of help. Our defense is predicated on help, and so if he's got a couple fouls already, he should be able to play with those fouls. And I've always trusted him since I've been here. I've generally played him when he's had 2 fouls in the first half or 3 in the third quarter. I believe in letting a guy go and letting him play, a star player like that especially. So I thought the second half was a great sign that he kind of made it past that habit.
Playing with his hands behind his back, was that just do you think his way of reminding himself, or was that a message?
I don't know, but I liked it.
Yeah.
He can't reach. I think he's probably giving himself the reminder. That would be my take. I didn't ask him.
Andrews, obviously. What do you think you can say about Luke Walton and the lawsuit against him?
Obviously, Andrews, with the guys, but the extra workload that he's taken on since the mark has been how do you think he's been able to manage that?
The extra workload that who is?
That Andrew
Bogues.
Yeah.
I think coming in, we weren't quite sure when he got here. We weren't quite sure how many minutes he would play because DeMarcus was healthy. But looking at his performance in Australia, he was playing, I think, 28, 29 minutes a game. You can see it. He's in great shape, and I like where he is right now. I kind of like that, 18, 20 minutes. Same thing with Looney. If we can keep those numbers around there, that gives us another 10 minutes or so to have Draymond at the 5, and that all makes sense on paper anyway, but every game's different, and we don't know how they'll shake out.
You were talking about Steph staying out of foul trouble. Do you feel like the officiating you've seen throughout this series has been a little tighter than you usually expect in a playoff series?
I think the officiating's been really good. I think the officials have not let the physicality get out of hand. They've kept a lid on it, but kept the game going at the same time. And there's always going to be calls that I disagree with and Doc disagrees with, but I think they've done an excellent job. It's a hard job, and they're keeping the game going and keeping things flowing, which is the job. All right, everybody.